Hello guys, welcome to another Tech Info. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to create a wireless network in Cisco Packet Tracer. So without further ado, let's begin this tutorial. So this is the third episode of my Cisco Packet Tracer course on NTI Learning. Once again, as I said, this is the third episode, how to create a wireless network. So, just to quickly cover over wireless networks, it's basically just like an Ethernet LAN, like creating a basic network with no wireless, but instead you use access points as your switch, and you allow wireless devices to connect to it, rather than using a switch and using Ethernet cables to connect to it. So I'm just going to really go over the objective. I now have a PowerPoint slide just to show you the objective and what equipment we'll be using in this case. Not to try and bore anyone, but this is just a quick way of me putting it. So I'll show you the learning objective now. So the learning objective. We need to understand how wireless networks work. We need to know how to connect wireless networks together. And we also need to get an understanding of different Wi-Fi bands, or wireless bands. So things like 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz. So the radio waves, basically. And the equipment. We'll be using one Cisco 1841 router, as our main router device, of course. We'll also have one Cisco Catalyst 2960 switch, and 3 access points from Packet Tracer themselves, as there's no Cisco branded wireless access points, or at least that's what I think, because I haven't had a proper look yet. But one will be 2.5 gigahertz and 2 will be 5 gigahertz. So with that, we will now begin with this tutorial. Okay, so we are now inside a Cisco Packet Tracer, and of course we're now going to begin to get our equipment. So first of all, we need an 1841 router, which we'll configure that in just a moment. And we also need a switch, which will be our 2960 switches. And for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to be using a static IP address rather than DHCP, because that will take a bit extra time to set up and I don't want to waste anyone's time, so we'll go with that. And we're just going to have a quick access point here. And this will be our access point. Here we are. Oh, actually, I think it's only no, it's only 2.4 gigahertz. So I guess we'll cover 5 gigahertz in a little bit. I'll just show you. It won't be with an access point, it'll be something else. So yeah, sorry about that. The criteria does say so, but just last minute there, just realised that's not the case. Anyways, so we'll just begin by setting up the network. So of course I have my CLI here, and we're just going to quickly get straight into it, because obviously I don't want to waste anyone's time. So what do we actually have here? Oh, we're too far in. So we have fast Ethernet. Okay, so we're just going to quickly configure the first interface. So, and I'm just going to quickly give it an IP address of 192.168.1.1. So that must be 2.1.2.1.0. And yeah, that's it. That's actually it. That's all we're going to do, just for now. So I'm now going to plug in an Ethernet cable, straight through cable, of course, from fast Ethernet 0. Oh yeah, I forgot to do this. There we go, that's a bit better. Okay, and we're just going to put this on here. Now, at this point we now have a wireless network. So, in order for us to actually see how this works, we're going to quickly go into the physical mode. And if you look very closely there, there's a little purple circle there, going a little bit further. And here we are, we're now in purple. And you notice how as we leave, the purple sort of disappears and it sort of goes away. That is our wireless, that's actually our signal. That's how far away it reaches. So if we just hop into the config, port 1. we can actually see the coverage range in meters. So I can actually change it to 90 meters if I so please. And with that, if we now go back into physical, you can see it cuts out a lot shorter than what it did before. So yeah, we can now connect our laptops and things and stuff like that. So if I just turn off the laptop, take out the Ethernet, put in the wireless, turn it back on, you will see shortly a wireless signal going over to the access point, no matter how far away we go. Now, although it's very straightforward, it's not exactly very secure, because if we look at port 1, we realize there is no authentication. So how do we go about fixing this? So simply I'm going to go into WPA2, and I'm just going to make a really quick passphrase. It's a super secret password. It's something called password. Yeah, don't you just love a nice, really complicated password? So with that, the laptop of course has now been kicked out, as it should. So we're going to have to go to desktop and click on PC wireless. Now this is just our little, it's like our way of connecting to the network. This is just a sort of desktop thing, if you like. So if we refresh it, we can see default, and the signal is 23%. So I'm going to click on connect, and I'm just going to type in the super secret password. So of course, password. Going to connect, and it was 60. Yeah, whoa, I'm talking really fast. You have successfully connected to the access point, as you can see. I go over here, still works. Go over here, still works. What's the range on that now? Still 23. Wow. Well, there you go, my friends. That is a small wireless network. Now, with 5 GHz, there are ways you can do this. Not exactly with access points, but with wireless routers. I'm not going to exactly demonstrate it here because it's basically the same thing. But if you go into a home router now, and if you were to go into config, you can also see this one called wireless 5G. And what you can actually do is, in order to in order to make a difference between the two networks, sorry, my tongue is rolling in different places. We can have things such as SSID 2.4 GHz, and also 5G. Just say 5G or something like that, I don't know. And that will obviously be able to make you differentiate the networks. Ah, see, I can say it now. So, yeah, that's just the differences between 2G and 5G. The differences are, with 2.4G and 5G, is that 2.4 has a longer range, but is obviously slower. 5G is faster, but has a much more limited range. So that's just my way of putting it. So here we are. That's our network. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. It's not probably the best episode you've probably watched. You're probably rather disappointed. I'm terribly sorry about that if you are. However, if you did like this video, then please do leave me a comment and let me know how it went for you. And do stick around for more if you so please. So do leave a like and a comment. And if you do want to subscribe, I'm not saying you should, but if you want to, that's okay. So thank you very much for watching Noah's Tech Info. Thank you very much for watching NTI Learning and tuning into the course Cisco Packet Tracer. And join me next time. Thank you very much.